We are back with what is hopefully the conclusion for this whole windshield debacle that I've been going through. So this is a new windshield. This is the third one, and this one is made by a brand called, if you can see that, PGW, and it looks different. The antennas inside of it are different. The actual weather stripping along the edge, the seal, is different. As you can see, instead of overlaying and being all big and puffy like the other one was, this one actually has a channel in between the glass and the actual frame of the car. So as I was spraying water over it just to clean it just now, you can see how the actual water runs down and goes down and then to the ground, which hopefully works better and makes it not leak anymore into the actual car. So far it seems to be working, but can't really test it properly until there's a really heavy downpour. But it's completely different from the other two windshields that I actually had on this car. And I did some research last night on the Porsche forums, and apparently it is really difficult to change a 997 windshield and do it properly. I saw many people complaining on the Porsche forum about having their glasses changed by, even when they have it changed by the dealership and the dealership sources it out to another company to do, it just ends up being a task that takes 2 or 3 tries before whoever does it gets it right, whether it's Safe Light, whether it's, fill in the blank company. It apparently is hard to do. So hopefully third time's the charm on this one and we won't get any more leaks. All right, all cleaned up. So far, so good, no leaks. But we're gonna wait for a good rainstorm so we can really test this thing out and make sure that there are no more leaks. All right, y'all, it is finally raining, and I think I can go ahead and use this time to test my windshield finally and let y'all know if the windshield is fixed or not. All right, here we are in the middle of a rainstorm, and it hasn't rained in some days, so I haven't been able to finish this vlog. But now it's raining really hard, and we're gonna see if we get any leaking coming from this third sunroof that I have up here, and hopefully it's not going to leak. So let's see what happens. I gotta sit here and wait for a while, but fingers and toes crossed, please don't leak. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and I've been moving the car around and stuff just to simulate, moving and shifting any standing water that could possibly be there around. And typically I will say by now it would have leaked if it was going to leak, but I'm going to do one final driving test just to make sure that it's not leaking. And you can see a little bit of water right there from where I was walking, but other than that, there's no leaking coming anywhere. So I'm driving and I'm looking over here. There is no water leaking so far. And I've been driving around and sitting in the car in the rain for about a good 15 minutes now. The rain has slowed up, but the best thing is that there's no water coming into the car. Oh my God, finally. So when I get home, I'm gonna finally do a conclusion on this video. All right, we still dry. The rain slowed down for a quick second, but then it picked back up like super strong. So this is a great example, or a great time to test my car, make sure that it's not leaking. And so far it is not, which I am very happy about it after all that troubleshooting and headache and all that. Look at this rain coming down. This is almost every day in Atlanta, but it hasn't been doing it for the last like 7 to 10 days for some reason. Watch this splash. Well, the rainstorm has passed. As you can see, it was a pretty strong one. And my interior is still dry. Oh my God, look at that. That's just where I was stepped in water when I got in the car when I was walking through the rain. But other than that, nothing came through here, nothing under there, nothing under there. Oh my God, I know I might seem like way too happy, but man, marginal gains is like the name of the game here. Like, It's been a really rough month, and for this finally to not be leaking, wow. I'm gonna go home and get my tripod and my mic out and do a proper summary of everything that I did and what you should do and what you shouldn't do if you're fixing a leak on a 997, or at least from my experience. It is finally a rainy day in Georgia, which means that I finally was able to complete the mystery of the leaking windshield on the 997. I was able to properly test this today for about like a good 45 minutes to an hour because we had a torrential downpour, and I can say that I'm sure now that this car is not leaking. I drove it, I sat in the rain, and I mean, I did not get a single drop of water in the cabin of this car. So, I mean, as y'all saw in the first vlog, I pulled the head lining down, I pulled the A-pillars off. I mean, I pulled almost like 60% of the dash apart. I did so much, you know, to figure out where this car was leaking from, and Kat and I finally narrowed it down to the actual windshield. So when I took it to the actual shop, as you can see that, you know, when they tested it, they did similar testing to what I did, except they did it with this cleaner and compressed air. In fact, the windshield was leaking from about right here to about right here on each side, which was letting water in, and the water was pooling under the windshield and then leaking down into the cabin of the car. So what was the final fix to fix my windshield? Well, apparently this car came with the aftermarket Fuyao windshield, and that Fuyao windshield was leaking already, but I was not aware of it because I didn't drive this car every day, and I especially didn't drive it when it was raining. And when I started daily driving this vehicle, that is when I became aware of the actual leak. And for some reason, whenever I washed the car, I never noticed water leaking into the cabin. But it happened to be one day I was driving and got stuck in a really bad rainstorm, and I realized that this car has an issue. So I took it to the glass people. They replaced the windshield with another windshield, which I thought would solve the problem. But no, that did not solve the problem, because they replaced it with another Fuyao windshield, and it did the exact same thing as the other windshield and leaked again into the cabin of the car. Now, I don't know if it was because of the design of the actual windshield or if it was the actual weather stripping around the perimeter of the windshield that made the difference, but whatever made the difference, when they took that windshield out, which it broke, and replaced it with this PGW windshield, I believe it's called, this windshield with this funky weather stripping that looks completely different from the weather stripping that came on the other one does not leak. And you can see when I was pouring water over this thing with the hose, you can see that the water pretty much runs down here, comes down this channel, goes where it's supposed to, and ends up in a puddle in the bottom of the car instead of in the car. So long story short, I am so happy that finally I have a 997 that I can daily drive with confidence that it won't leak and I won't get any water damage to all the sensitive electronics that are inside of these cars, because as some of y'all may know, on 996 and 997s, the engine management stuff and the smart computers sit at the lowest point on these cars. I'm not 100% sure if it's like that on the 997, but it's definitely like that on the 996. So if a 996 leaks water, the ECU can get fried, and then you're done. And now you got to go spend all this money to get a new computer and do all this other kind of crazy stuff. So long story short, this vlog is finally over, and I am so glad that this vlog is finally over, because this one was a massive headache, and it cost me a little bit of money, but it didn't cost me too much. And with everything going on with COVID, I am so happy I finally got some good news to report. So this is done. This is KRT LYFE, KRT LYFE with a Y. I would like for you to like, subscribe, comment. I hope that this helps anybody out there that might have a leaking issue with mosquitoes climbing on me. Look at that. I just killed a mosquito. But I hope that this video helps anyone that is having an issue with the leaking Porsche 997. You know, you saw me take apart the dashboard. You saw me take apart the headliner and the A-pillars and all the other things that I did to figure out what was going on with this car, but it is finally not leaking, and I'm so happy. So thanks for watching, y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.